Hello, everyone out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to talk some more about your favorite movie, not mine, your favorite movie, The Devil Wears Prada. Right, The Devil Wears Prada, this movie from 2006. I guess it was based on a book that I never read and don't care about. I really have no interest in anything involved in this movie. This movie was not made for me, obviously. Okay, but what I decided to do when I started this channel was that I decided because I reviewed every episode of Sex and the City. Okay, that's what started me off, and that piece of crap show, and Just Like Crap, which I just found out recently the third season is about to come out. So guess what? As soon as I'm done reviewing this movie, guess what I'm jumping on again? That's right, and Just Like Crap season 3. I reviewed season 1 of And Just Like Crap, and after I did that, I decided I would go back and review every single episode of Sex and the City, and I did, and I reviewed the movies. Okay, and then I decided I would just start reviewing other chick flicks. Okay, because I found out that I had a lot to say about a lot of the crap that Hollywood produces for women and for girls. Okay, and unlike guy movies, okay, like, I grew up watching Rocky and Die Hard and Terminator. Unlike movies like that are for men, for boys, okay, we know that's crap. We know it's not real. I always knew that wasn't real. Okay, when I was a kid watching Predator, okay, I knew that would never happen in real life. Okay, I knew that. I knew it was just entertainment. Okay, it was exciting, it was fun. You can pretend to be, John Connor or something, for a little while when you're a kid. You can pretend to be Spider-Man. Okay, you can pretend to be Indiana Jones or something like that. Pretend to be John McClane, trapped in a skyscraper with a bunch of German terrorists. That's what it was, okay? But once the movie's over, we know damn well that's not us. That's nothing like us, and it's never going to be us. These things are never going to happen, okay? Realistically, it's not real. We know that. That's the difference between the chick flick and the guy flick, okay? You women watch this crap and you think it's fucking real. You think it's really going to happen to you. You think it really happens that way. It doesn't. It doesn't, okay? And you can call all the feminism you want and all the representation and the DEI. We need girl bosses. No, we got way too many girl bosses, okay? Those movies are not making any money. Okay, studios are bankrupting themselves because of girl bosses. Okay, why do you think Thunderbolts is Marvel's latest flop? Okay, you know why? Girl boss. That's why. Okay, why do you think Star Wars is a joke now? Okay, nobody cares about Star Wars anymore. Why do you think that is? I'll tell you why. Girl boss. Okay? These are genres that are for boys. And you try to make them for men, but women don't give a crap about those genres. They don't give a crap about those movies. They're not going to go see them. No matter how strong and independent and tough the girl in charge is. Okay? You're just turning off guys. And the reason you're turning off, you know why you're turning off guys? It's not because there's a girl in charge. It's not because the woman is all tough and all that. The reason you're turning off guys is because you made the girl powerful and strong and smart and everything and independent and strong. Okay, at the expense of the men. You had to make the men look weak in order to make the women look strong. Okay? You had to emasculate all the men in order to make the woman more powerful. Okay? You've got a guy here and you got a woman here. And technically they're equal. So how do you make the woman better than the guy? Okay? Because you can't make her bigger and you can't make him bigger. So what do? You cut off his legs. Okay? And this is what's been happening for the past fucking 12 years. TV shows, movies. And this stuff pisses me off. And that's why I make this channel. I point this crap out. Okay? And you can talk all Diego, he's just scared of strong, independent women. That's why this is his cope. This is his cope channel. He can't handle strong, independent women. That's why he has to make these videos, because he can't handle a strong, independent, tough woman who's smarter than him and more successful than him. Get the hell out of here. Okay? I don't give a crap what you think about me, okay? You can think whatever you want about me, and that's fine. I don't care. Okay? But I will tell you this. I don't care how much you believe this nonsense. I don't care how much you think that women are all powerful and men aren't worth a crap and women need men like fish need a bicycle. I don't care how much you believe that, okay? Let me tell you something, Missy. once you walk out that door into the real world, all that crap goes away. Okay, it turns out reality doesn't work that way, whether you like it or not. Reality doesn't work. I would dare any one of you women watching this to go one day without any services of a man. None. They don't talk to you. They don't do anything for you. Okay, you could not handle it. You would not be. You wouldn't know what the fuck to do. And that's the truth. You would shit yourself. One day without a man. Just one day. Just one day. That's no man no man working at a store. No man to fix your car. No man to fix your phone. No man to create, to pump out the oil, to turn it and to refine it into gasoline for you to use. No man, okay, to dig in the tunnels, okay, of Bangladesh, okay, to pull out the damn what is it, the chromium they use to build the batteries that power your Tesla. No man for any of that stuff. No man to operate your Wi-Fi. Okay, no man for anything. You would shit yourself. No man to run the generators that power your penthouse. Okay? Just go one day without a man. See what happens. And that's just like the basic needs that you have. Okay, and we're not even talking about romance and relationship and social structure. None of that stuff. I haven't even gotten there yet. Or family. None of that stuff. I'm just talking about the basic necessities. That alone will destroy you. That alone, okay, will screw you so up. You would make it maybe by the afternoon, you'll be begging men for help. You would. That's exactly what would happen in real life. Okay? But, no feminist, crappy chick flick's going to explain that to you or show that to you, honestly, because it goes against their message. Okay? They want to sell you a fantasy. Not only do they want you to enjoy the movie, they want you to believe this stuff is real. This is the way it should be if it's not. You see what I mean? And this is all a load of crap. Now, this movie's not as bad as some of the other movies that I've reviewed here. Okay, you've seen. Okay, I reviewed a lot of movies on here. Okay, some of your favorites. Okay, The Notebook. Yep, I did that. Mean Girls. I did that. Legally Blonde. Did it. Even old movies like Breakfast at Tiffany's. Did it. Thelma and Louise. Did it. What else? Pretty Woman. Did it. My Best Friend's Wedding. Did it. What else? What else here? Oh, God, there's so many, man. I mean, there's some I can't even think about right now. It sucks. But I've done a lot. Wicked. I did Wicked. Okay? I've done a lot. Okay? I've even done some guy movies. Okay? I've done High Fidelity. Okay? Great guy movie. I did Swingers. Great guy movie. Okay? Yes, I've reviewed several movies on this channel, okay, and I like to go into analysis, okay. I did Dirty Dancing. There's another one I did. Dirty Dancing, okay. Officer and a Gentleman, okay. I've done some movies on this channel, okay, not just Sex and the City episodes, okay. So I pretty much understand what the genre pretty well by now, okay. I think I got it figured out, okay, and I know what they're trying to sell. I know the message they're trying to give you. Okay, and I'm not here to tell you all of it's bad. It's not. This movie's not that bad. I've seen much worse than this. There's actually a lot of this movie that I actually enjoyed. Okay, but what I give you that's different from everybody else, I give you a straight man's point of view. Okay, imagine hearing a review about this movie in depth. Okay, but your girlfriends aren't telling you this. Okay, and your gay guy friends aren't telling you this. It's a straight guy actually sat through this crap and is telling you what he really thinks about it. And I'm not pulling any punches. I'm telling you, I got nothing to gain by lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. The real question you have to ask yourself is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? Because I don't think you can. I know you can. I know you can. Okay? But you're going to get it anyway. Okay? And I know you're not supposed to talk to women the way you talk to men. Well, the hell with that. I'm going to talk to you the way I talk to a man. Okay? Because you need it. You need it. Okay? You need to hear stuff. Okay? They can't not be sugar-coated. Okay? Once you've heard it, okay, once you understand it in a brutally honest way, okay, you're going to be able to make better decisions. You're going to be able to have a thicker skin and not be so sensitive with your feelings, okay? Because let me tell you something, ladies, okay? The world don't give two craps about your feelings, okay? The world does not give two craps about your feelings, okay? We care about what's real and what's true and how things really work, not this fantasy land, okay? at this fantasy land that movies like to give you. Okay, and like I said, Devil Wears Prada is one of the better chick flicks that I've reviewed. It's not great by any means. In fact, I'm gonna have to fail it as far as is it a great movie. I think because it missed the landing. Everything up to the third act was pretty damn good. I gotta admit, it really is. I think the filmmakers are pretty. They're a little bit cowardly. They chickened out on some of the scenes that they should have just gone forward, and I know why they did it, because they're trying to manipulate you. Obviously, all movies are manipulative. They're trying to get you to feel things on their terms. Okay, and this movie, I can see the strings being pulled. I can see how they did it. Okay, and the fact that I can see it means that's not good storytelling. I shouldn't be able to see it. It should be seamless. The best movies are the ones where you never stop to think, "Oh my God, I'm watching a movie." This is a movie, yeah. Okay, no. Okay, the best movies, you don't even think about that. You're hypnotized for 2 hours. This movie broke the spell a couple of times, but we'll get to that, all right? Now, last time I talked about the people that made this movie, okay, it was based on a book written by a Jewish woman named Lauren Weisenberger. Yeah, it doesn't get more Jewish than that. Lauren Weisenberger, okay, who worked at Vogue magazine for 10 months, and then she quit. She quit because her boss, Dame Anna Wintour, the most powerful woman in publishing, okay, who's the editor-in-chief of Vogue, and she's the chairman of the Met Gala. Yeah, the Met, the gayest, most feminine thing that all Hollywood socialites want to go to. All right? Yeah, chairman of the Met Gala, okay. Yes, so Lauren Weisenberg worked for her for 10 months, then she quit because Dame Anna Wintour is a bitch. So naturally, she wrote a book about it, okay? She changed the name of Vogue to Runway Magazine, which is a fictional magazine. And she changed Dame Anna Wintour, because she didn't want to get sued, into a character named Miranda Priestley, who's played by Meryl Streep. Now, we've seen Meryl Streep before. You know why? Because I reviewed another movie with her in it, and that was Mamma Mia. Yes, I reviewed Mamma Mia. I forgot about that one. I reviewed Mamma Mia. Gosh, man. Yes, I sat through that. Okay. Anyway, so Lauren Weisberger wrote the book based on a real person, Dame Anna Wintour, based on her own experiences working for her. Okay, and then the screenplay was written by a woman named Eileen Brosh McKenna. Even though her last name is McKenna, she changed it. It's really something else. She's Jewish. Okay, I know McKenna sounds Irish, doesn't it? But it's not. Okay, she's Jewish. Okay, and that woman, Eileen Brosh McKenna, she also wrote 27 Dresses. That's the one with Katherine Heigl that came out in 2008. I've not seen that movie. I used to like her, but I don't anymore. Okay, and Morning Glory, that's another movie that I did not see, don't want to see. Okay, and that came out in 2010. Okay, and the director of this movie, his name's David Frankel. He has a long reputation of directing chick flicks. He directed Marley and Me in 2008. Have not seen it. He directed Hope Springs in 2012. I have not seen that either, I don't think. He directed Miami Rhapsody in 1995. I have seen that. That's a rom-com with Sarah Jessica Parker, Antonio Banderas, and Mia Farrow. I remember enjoying it, but it was probably 30 years ago since I've seen it. Okay, I think I saw it when it first came out a long time ago. All right, and that's because the girl I was with wanted to see it. Okay, and then he also directed lots of episodes of Inventing Anna. You remember that? That's the movie with what's her name? Emily Garner or whatever, or Judy Garner. Whoever's playing the female Silver Surfer in the new Fantastic Four movie, that girl, her last name's Garner. Yeah, she's in that. She plays like the fake socialite, the woman that's pretending to be a billionaire when she really wasn't. Okay, that's a true story. Okay, so he directed episodes of that, and that was in 2022. And then, of course, he also directed episodes of Entourage, which is like a guy show about based on Mark Wahlberg's life. Yeah, Marky Mark himself and the Funky Bunch, about his entourage. Okay, and that's why the same actor, what's his name, Adrian Grenier, is in this movie. He's the star of the TV show Entourage. He plays Vincent Chase. Okay, I guess he's the movie star on the show, and his bros that all come with him and all fuck his leftovers and his hand-me-downs and stuff, and that kind of, because hey, when the leader of your group is a movie star, you get privileges with that. You get to fuck a lot of hot girls. Okay, of course he gets to fuck them first, but then you get the leftovers. Okay, so that's I've never seen this show. I know. Turn in my man card. I've not seen it. I've been too busy. Okay, when that show came out, I was way too busy getting laid for real than to watch Entourage. I watch a guy getting laid. I was too busy doing it myself. That's true. Eventually, if I have time, I'll get around to it. I will. Okay, I heard nothing but good things about that show. Despite the fact that Jeremy Piven's in it, I don't like that guy, and he got me too. Apparently, he's a sexual harasser. But anyway, so that's how they all know each other. You know, directors, they always put their friends or their former coworkers together in their movies and stuff. They do that all the time. Okay, no exception here. Okay, so we got Meryl Streep as Miranda Priestley, Anne Hathaway is the main character, Andrea Andy Sachs. Emily Blunt is Emily Charlton, a bitch assistant that she works with. Stanley Tucci plays the gay art director of Runway magazine named Nigel Kipling. And of course, I already told you, Adrian Grenier plays Nate, the boyfriend, the simp. And Simon Baker plays Christian Thompson, a famous writer who's the stud. He's the alpha giga Chad, all right, that she ends up having sex with, okay? And Giselle Bundchen, Giselle the bitch, okay, the woman that tried to screw over Tom Brady. Luckily, all of his assets he left in his mom's name, so she couldn't get jack shit. Why the hell would she want Tom Brady's fortune when he's only worth like $200 million, when she comes from a rich family and she's worth like $400 million, but yet she still wanted all of his shit. Okay, despite the fact that she's the one that cheated on him, Tom Brady, fucking quarterback extraordinaire, she cheated on him with her goddamn karate instructor, and they're not even together anymore. Okay, so she destroyed her marriage, broke up her family for nothing. Okay, and Tom Brady kept his stuff because he kept everything, putting everything in his mom's name, which was smart. Okay. Yes. So this movie, the budget for this movie was $40 million, and it shows. Like I said, it came out in 2006, which means they filmed it in 2005. They filmed it in New York. That's pretty obvious. It had a very Sex and the City feel to it. The tone, okay, the ambiance was all Sex and the City. Even the clothes, okay, a lot of effort was spent on the clothes that these girls are wearing throughout this movie. That's because the costume director is Patricia Fields, the same woman who did the costumes for Sex and the City for all the seasons. Okay. She's a legend in this industry, all right? The budget for the movie was $40 million. It ended up making $327 million, so that's a hit. I'm surprised they did not make a sequel, okay? I don't know. Is there a sequel to the book series? I don't know, and I don't care, okay? Anyway, Kate Hudson. Yes, Kate Hudson, Nepo baby herself, who's the daughter of Goldie Hawn. Not Kurt Russell, but I guess it's John Hudson or something, whatever. Her dad was one of the Hudson brothers, Razzle Dazzle. Anyway, yeah. She turned down this role, which kind of ruined things for her because this would have broken her out a lot more than Almost Famous did. So this role ended up going to Anne Hathaway, who I think is pretty, but she doesn't really look very pretty in this movie. Okay, I don't know what it is about her face or something, but she just doesn't look that great. I saw her in The Dark Knight Rises, okay? The Batman movie. She played Catwoman in that one, and she looked really good in that one. She looked really good in that one. Okay, not just when she's in her Catwoman outfit showing off her ass, but like when she's disguised as a maid, when she's wearing a dress, okay, at the ball that she goes to in the movie, okay? When she's dressed like this, she looks great. She really does look good, okay? But she didn't look that good here, okay? I don't know if that was on purpose, okay, or if that was her own choice, the way she wanted to play it. I don't know. Anyway, so yes, and apparently in real life, Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway both starved themselves in this movie, okay, to get skinnier. Although neither one of them is fat. I mean, I don't get it, okay? All you girls do stuff like that. You know, you call us, you say that we're all immature, okay, and we're all a bunch of man-childs and shit. You know, we're not the ones that fucking make ourselves throw up in the goddamn toilet every day, okay? We're not the ones that stuff our faces with fucking Botox, okay? We're not the ones that get fucking chest augmentations, okay? We're not the ones that get fucking BBLs, okay? We're not the ones that do that shit. Okay? So quit calling us fucking insecure and stuff, okay? You wear your insecurity on your fucking face. And other places. All right, moving right along. And so we get introduced to characters. We hear that song, Suddenly I See You by KT Tunstall. I love that song. Okay, it came out in 2004. Okay, so I already told you we were introduced to the main characters and stuff. She works at Runway magazine. Where we left off last time is apparently Miranda Priestley decides to hire Andrea, after all, as her second assistant. The first assistant is Emily Blunt's character, Emily Charlton, who's obviously British. She keeps her British accent in this movie, okay? And since she just got promoted to first assistant, she has more responsibilities, and the stupid work, okay, the stuff like, you know, getting coffee, running errands, you know, cleaning the bathrooms, all that stuff the second assistant does now. She don't have to do that stuff anymore, okay? She got promoted. Okay, and as the first assistant, she is in charge of her boss's schedule, making the schedules, and she gets to go to France, to Paris every year for Fashion Week, okay, on the company's expense, all right? So she doesn't have to do the BS work, okay? Now Andrea has to do it. Now Andy herself, she just graduated from Northwestern University. That's in Evanston, Illinois. That's the same suburb where Mean Girls takes place. I am from Chicago. I know exactly where I used to work in Evanston. I know exactly where that is. Okay, a lot of Hollywood people graduated from Northwestern University there, okay, and ended up in Hollywood, okay? Because you know why? Because it's a libtard school. But then again, it's Illinois, Chicago. Okay, so anyway, so she graduated from there. Miranda Priestley's not impressed. She hires her anyway. She changed her mind. She tells her, no, you suck, but I don't like the way you dress and all this kind of stuff. I don't care about your education, blah, blah, blah. But she decides to take a chance on her and hire her anyway. Okay, so now she's officially the new assistant. Okay, new second assistant. Okay, so that night they go to a restaurant, okay, where apparently her boyfriend, Nate, like I said, played by Adrian Grenier from Entourage. Apparently he's a chef there, and he's allowed to eat at the table with his customers for some reason. I don't know. But she's sitting there with her friends. Her social group consists of her boyfriend, Nate. Like I said, he's a chef, okay, or an assistant chef or something, okay, at this restaurant where the scene's taking place. They're all drinking wine, eating food. There's a black woman there named Lily, okay, who apparently works at a museum, at an art gallery. Doing what? We don't know. He doesn't say. Okay. And then there's a gay guy, big, tall, gay guy named Doug. Okay. Who is a corporate analyst. Okay. I guess that's what he is. And they all hate their jobs. Okay. And Andrea, of course, is like, I got hired at Runway Magazine. Nate is kind of shocked that his girlfriend be working there because she's not fashion. Well, she is. She's not into the fashion industry. I know lots of women are, but Andrea is not. She wants to work in publishing, okay? And that's why she took this job, because if she works for Miranda Priestley for a year, she'll get a good reference. She can work at any publishing house in New York. And New York is where all the publishing happens, okay, in America. Okay, so that's why she's working there, just to get the experience that she worked at a high-profile publishing firm, all right? That's why she doesn't care about fashion. She doesn't care about the multi-billion-dollar fashion industry. Okay, that's why she dresses the way she does, very conservative, all right? So that's why her boyfriend's shocked. But she's doing this as a stepping stone to something else, okay? So they're all complaining about their jobs, okay? Even Lily makes fun of Nate and says, like, oh my God, I mean, you work here at this restaurant. I mean, this is a restaurant that has like paper napkins, And then he tells Lily, oh yeah, well, you are the one that works at that art gallery doing, what is that you do over there again? That kind of thing. And then Doug, the gay guy, because there's got to be a gay guy in these movies. Of course there is. You can't have a chick flick without a gay guy. At least one, if not all. Okay? And he's like, oh, yeah, well, I actually love what I do. I am a corporate analyst. Oh, my God, I hate my job, too. Okay? Yeah, so they all decided to take a toast. To do a toast to jobs that pay the rent. Okay? Doug's a corporate research analyst. So they decided to take a toast for jobs that pay the rent. Click. Okay. The next scene here, Andy tells Nate, her boyfriend, okay, they're walking out of the restaurant now. Just the two of them, their boyfriend and girl. They live together, apparently. Okay, and they're walking down New York together at night. Okay, and she tells them that she feels intimidated by the other girls because of the way they dress. Okay, they all wear designer clothes at her job. They made a big deal of that in the intro montage of this movie. Okay, the women even changed their shoes once Miranda enters the office. Okay, everyone like fucking freaks out when she gets there. They move everything around. Okay, they get rid of like clutter on their desk. Okay, they set out her bottle of water or exactly where she wants it. The magazines get arranged exactly. Why didn't they just do that anyway? Why did they have to wait until they know she's in the building before they do that shit? It makes no sense, okay? But anyway, that happens here. That's just bad directing. I'm sorry, that's bad storytelling right there, okay? So anyway, so they're talking. Andrea and her boyfriend are talking. Okay, and she tells them she's intimidated by the other girls because they wear designer clothes, and she doesn't. Okay, she wears shit that you buy at Walmart. All right, and he tells her that hey, listen, hey, sweetheart, I think you look incredible just the way you are. And besides, what are you doing there? You're just running errands, okay? You're making copies. You're going for coffee. I mean, you don't have to look like a fashion model to do that. You don't have to dress like them just to do that. That's what he tells her. Okay, and of course she's like, "Oh, thank you so much. Now let's go home and do something where you don't have to worry about your clothes being on. All right, that kind of yeah. I think we know what that means. All right. Well, at least they're doing that. At least they're having like some sort of sex. Anyway, So moving right along, okay, we have a montage now. It's the next day. It's Andy's first official day. Her first day there wasn't really her first day. She was there to interview. Okay, but now she's been hired. So this is her first day. So she gets a call in the morning while she's still in bed with her boyfriend about all these things that she has to do before she gets into the office. Okay, so Andy's morning routine. Okay, it's very high tempo. Okay, very fast paced, very high stress. Okay, she's got to get the right kind of coffee from the right store, cooked, made a certain way. Okay, and it's got to be there on time, on Miranda's desk on time by a certain time. Okay, Andy ends up being late, which freaks out Emily because Emily, like I said, is a first assistant. No, the phone is never allowed to be unattended. There's always someone who's metaphorically chained to the fucking desk. That phone can never ring and then not be answered. Okay, that's one of the rules. Okay, because Andy is the new girl, she's stuck to that. She can't even go to the bathroom. Okay, she's stuck to that fucking desk, and every time it rings, it had better be answered. Okay, Emily's had to do that because Andy was out there getting all the coffee and all the other shit. Emily's been stuck while she had to go to the bathroom. She couldn't leave to go to the bathroom until Andy showed up. So of course she gives her shit about that. I'm gonna explode. What took you so long? In case you haven't noticed, Emily's not very nice to Andy. Okay, she treats her like shit. Okay, she constantly points out where Andy is on the totem pole. Okay, as far as the hierarchy at the company goes, she's way at the fucking, but she's beneath the bottom. Okay, and she constantly reminds her of that you're nothing in this company. You are nobody. You are nothing, and you're the most easily replaceable person in here. Okay. In between, always reminding her that there's a million girls who would love your job right now, who would love to have your job right now. Okay, while she's being treated like shit, she's always being reminded by many characters in this movie. Okay, that there's millions of women who would love to have your job right now. Okay, while she's being treated like shit. Okay, now I'm actually going to defend the movie on this, but we'll get to that. All right. Okay, so that's going up here. Okay. Oh, so Emily pretty much, besides chastising Andy for the way that she dresses and that kind of stuff, okay, she basically tells her, hey, listen, okay, if you fuck this up, it's my ass, okay, because Andy is Emily's assistant now, okay, and Emily is Miranda's assistant, okay, so the only way that Emily can stay as the first assistant is if we get to keep the second assistant. The second assistants keep getting fired. Okay, and Emily's afraid that's going to happen with Andy. That's the only reason she's helping her. She doesn't want Andy to get fired because if she gets fired, then Emily goes back to being the second assistant or so, or Emily herself will get fired. Okay, so it's in her best interest that Andy does not screw up. Okay, which makes sense. Okay, it's your ass. Okay, if you fuck this up, it's my ass on the line. That's basically what Emily tells her. That's the reason she's so hard on her. Okay, Andy is not used to being spoken to this way. It's pretty obvious. She's just like, everyone ever raised their voice to her or barked orders to her with no regards to her feelings. Okay, I know it sucks, doesn't it? Okay, that's because you've never been in the fucking military. All right, anyway, so she's wearing a conservative, blue sweater, okay, and a skirt, and Andy must always answer the phone. Like I said, it's like she's chained to the desk at all times, okay? Emily points out that her job is more important than Andy's job, okay? Emily handles all the schedules, okay, all the appointments and all the expenses, okay? And she gets to go to Paris once a year for Fashion Week, okay? Andy runs, Andy's job, however, is the bullshit work, running errands, getting coffee, okay? And her job is also to deliver, there's a book, okay? It's called a mock-up book, okay? It's basically a prototype for what the magazine is going to look like once it goes to the printers, okay? It's a mock-up book, okay? And the second assistant is supposed to deliver that to Miranda's house every single night. Miranda will go over in the evening. In the morning, she'll bring it in with notes attached to all the pages, okay? And that'll let all the publishers know exactly what to put in and what to take out of the magazine before it actually gets printed. Okay, so it's the second assistant's job to do that, but Emily points out to Andy that she's not going to get that responsibility yet because Andy has not proven herself that she's even competent enough to handle such a mediocre task like that. She still has to prove herself. So until then, okay, Emily is going to continue to deliver the book to Miranda's house every single night. Okay, and Emily will continue to do it. Okay. At this moment, Nigel, played by Stanley Tucci, he plays this short, bald, gay guy, older gay guy, okay, which he plays in a lot of movies. He's always like the nerdy guy, you see, the older guy, you see, he's been in a lot of movies. He's actually a very good actor, but he's a character actor. He's never the star of anything. You've seen him in the background of lots of other movies, okay? He'll play a bureaucrat, he'll play like a college professor, he'll play like a scientist. He played a scientist in Captain America, the First Avenger, okay, things like that, okay? He played Dr. Reinstein, which was a take on Einstein. Okay, you've seen a lot of him. I saw him in this other movie, this other chick flick. Oh, I wish I could remember what the name of it was. Okay, but he's been in a lot of movies. He was in a Transformers movie even. He played like this fucking like this CEO of some company or shit, whatever. He's always playing those roles. You'll see him in a lot of chick flicks. He'll play like the fucking the quirky guy, just like the guy just like he'll do that a lot in his movies, okay? And he kind of does that here a little bit, but he's playing a gay guy, older gay guy, all right? He shows up, okay? He walks into and offers, he comes in with a pair of stilettos, okay? And offers them to Emily. Like, here, I'm guessing you're at 8.5. And he gives her these stilettos. And she's like, why are you giving me shoes? Like, what the hell, and Andy's like, I don't really need those, okay? I mean, Miranda hired me. She knows what I look like. I'm sure that if she has a problem with what I look like, she'll, I'm sure she knows exactly what I look like. And Nigel's just like, yes, but do you? Okay, in other words, he's trying to help her out, okay? Without trying to be her friend. You see what I mean? And there's some good stuff about that, all right? I'm going to get to that here in just a second, okay? Miranda calls for Emily, okay? And Emily, of course, is gone. She had to go do something, so Andy's the one that has to go in there. And Nigel tells her, okay, when she calls for Emily and Emily's not here, that means she's calling for you. So Emily gets up and goes over there, right? And, Miranda there, Meryl Streep, bitch, queen bitch herself, keeps calling Andy Emily. And then Andy corrects her in front of some other people she was talking to. My name is not Emily, it's Andy, Andrea, but everyone calls me Andy. And she's just like, you just corrected her? Anyway, so Miranda just decides, she doesn't say anything about that. She looks at her like, and then she starts barking out all these orders, okay? All this stuff that she has to do, okay? Okay, and then, she tells her, okay, you need to do this, call this person. I want to know about this, okay? I want you to go and get some Calvin Kleins from this, and do this, and do this, and do this, and do this, and tell me when this is going to happen, and that kind of stuff, okay? Okay, and then she just goes like, and looks at Andy's shoes, okay, which are, I think they're loafers for a girl, they're comfortable. And she's like, that'll be all. Like that. Okay, and Andy's just like, okay, like that, okay? And she walks out of there, okay? Okay, and then Andy finally gets the hint. She finally realizes what Nigel was doing, and she decides to put on the stilettos, okay? Now, because Nigel's actually trying to do something for her, okay, without being her friend. Okay, and of course, she doesn't know who these people are, that all these orders, she doesn't know what to do. Okay, luckily Emily shows up and Emily gets right on it and she fixes it, okay, which makes Miranda feel better, okay, and then she chastises Andy again, okay, for not, I guess, for not doing her job, well, not knowing enough, even though it's her first fucking day, and then she decides to insult what fucking Andy's wearing. Oh, what is so important? You have to go to some skirt convention or something? Okay, in other words, making fun of her skirt, making fun of her sweater, making fun of the way she looks. Okay, which Emily did not have to do. Okay, but I know exactly why she did it. Okay, so real quickly here, let me explain this to you. Okay, I was in the Marines. Okay, I was in the Marines. And you don't just, it's not like a job you apply to. You don't just apply to the Marines and then on your first day you start learning. Okay? They start teaching you what your job is and what the social structure is, who you have to respect, who you don't have to respect, what your responsibilities are, how to dress. Okay, that's not how it works. Okay? When you join the military in general, you go to basic training. Okay? For me, it's called boot camp. Okay, I went to boot camp, okay, in San Diego. All right? And they don't teach you what your job is in boot camp, okay? What they teach you is how to be a fucking Marine, okay? All your opinions that you have, all your preconceived notions, your personality traits, your quirks, okay, your idiosyncrasies, all that shit gets fucking thrown away. Okay? Because they have to teach you how to be a fucking Marine first before they can teach you what your job's going to be. Okay? They have to induct you into the culture and have that culture inside of you before you even show up for your first day of work. Okay? And that's what boot camp is. They take away your identity. They teach you how to be a fucking Marine. Because you're not going to get your job yet. You're not going to get that responsibility until you're a fucking Marine first. Okay? And do you think they fucking give two fucking shits about your feelings? They fucking don't. From my first day on boot camp, they were yelling at me. They were telling me to hurry the fuck up. They took away my sleep. They chopped off all my fucking hair. They took away all my possessions. They gave me a fucking uniform to wear. Okay? And every 5 minutes, they kept reminding me what a fucking piece of shit I was. And it wasn't just me. They did it to all of us. Get over here right now. Yelling at us, calling us names, saying shit about our moms. Okay? For 3.5 fucking months. Torturing us with exercises. Screaming at us. Okay? These guys never once told us we did a good job. Not fucking once. They told us we were worthless pieces of shit every fucking day. Several times a day. Okay? And when we didn't do what we were told, you did what you're fucking told. Even me, man, I smarted off once. Okay, you know what they did to me? They gave me some fucking wall-to-wall counseling. Okay? Because they're not going to put me out there until I've shown them that I have what it takes to be a fucking Marine. They're not going to give me my job until I prove that I have what it takes to be a fucking Marine. Okay? They had to take out what was in there, dump it all out, and put in what they wanted, and then seal it back up. That's what we're called jarheads. Okay? And that is exactly what's going on here. Okay? Andrea has not been inundated into this culture, into this lifestyle, into the fashion industry. She doesn't give two shits about it. She's just there to advance her career in publishing. She doesn't give a shit about fashion. She doesn't care about that stuff. But the people she works for do. This is their lifestyle. So instead of us, feeling sorry for Andy because they're being so mean to her, she's the one that doesn't give a shit about what they're doing. And that's what they're trying to point out here. And I think that was a good part of the movie, is that they actually point out, no, it's not that they're being tough on her. It's that she don't give a shit. She's just there as a stepping stone to something else. You see what I mean? That's why. They don't like her because she don't give a shit. You want to work at a comic book company if you fucking didn't like comic books? Okay? You wouldn't work at a gun store if you fucking hated weapons. You see what I mean? You wouldn't fucking work as an auto mechanic if you hated cars. You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. That's what Andy is. Okay, and that's what Nigel's trying to explain to her, and he does it in a very good way. Okay, I'm going to stop my review right here. I'll be back shortly to continue my review of The Devil Wears Prada. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.